How do you want to show up at dinner, Suzanne? Do you want to show
Right.
up telling them all the things you had to do and basically commiserate? Or do you want to show up and talk about like women things, girl things, not mom things? Like, sure, there's always a little mom stuff sprinkled in,
Of
but I think
course.
too,
Yes.
we can join the conversation and change it by talking about the girl things. But again, it's like stuff that involves us that had nothing to do with our
Yes.
kids. Was there a little kid stuff
Right.
sprinkled in? But like it was
Of
such an
course.
enjoyable dinner. It was fun. I came home like super tired from the day, but like relaxed. And
Yeah.
then I came home and read a little bit before bed. And I looked back at the day and was like, you know what? That was a good day. I
Yeah.
would have never done that before. Like we said, previously I would have been overwhelmed when I'm bitter, and I would have left that dinner being like, oh, great. And now all I did was bitch and complain about, how tough my life is and blah, blah, blah. And instead I had fun and we talked about fun things. And I walked out of it being like, oh yeah, mom and woman, they can exist. They can coexist. Yay.
Hi, I'm Jen.
Hey, I'm Suzanne, and today we're talking about how you find yourself as a mom and as a woman in the middle of a crazy day. So,
All right.
yesterday I had one of those days, right? So I'm up
Okay.
at 5 o'clock. I've got to make breakfast, get ready, get a kiddo to football practice by 6:30 a.m. Then we had middle school orientation, or I'm sorry, middle school registration, followed by freshman orientation, where I couldn't get the one kid home. So he had to come with me to the parent portion of freshman orientation, which we always know how fun that is when you have to take one of the kids that does not want to be there. So he's
Yeah.
complaining in the car about all the things, right? So we get through freshman orientation. I have both kids. I'm ready to roll. Now we've got to feed them within 30 minutes and get the other one up to a doctor's appointment, which is like a county away. So it's like 45 minutes away, right? And there's going to be traffic. And for anyone that lives in Southern California, if you get past like 3 o'clock anywhere close to Los Angeles, LA, good luck getting home, right? Because on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
I had my friend's birthday dinner at 6:30. So we have the
Yeah.
full, like when we're talking about like one of those packed schedules, plus you're
Yep.
dealing with the kiddos that, this is all new to them, new schools, new routines. I mean, you're just looking at your schedule, waking up going, well, damn. I mean, you felt
Yeah.
this way before, yes?
Yes. Yes. I actually called you the first day of school, which was like
That's true.
2 days ago for us. And I was like, I thought today I was going to have all this time because the kids are finally back in school and I could, quote unquote, have my routine back. And I called you laughing, or I think I left you one of our infamous voice notes
Yep.
where, we go on for like 10 minutes. And I was like laughing, being like, I just thought I was going to have this like magical day. And I ended up going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I got to like 9:30 p.m. and I'm like, what is happening? Where did my day go? But it was just like a bunch of stuff was going on. Everybody was out of their routine. Everybody was a little dysregulated first day of school. So there's just a lot going on. There's the routine of it. There's the emotions of it. There's the feelings of it. It's just,
Yeah. And
there's
you're not
always a
giving
lot
me
going on.
you're not giving me high hopes because we start school next week, so I get to go through this again.
It's a good time. It's good. It's all fine. You gotta do it. I always just tell the kids, we just gotta jump in and then we'll figure it out.
It's so true, right? And so I would say like old me would have been completely overwhelmed and been like, okay, like how am I going to get through all this? And my kids would have felt all of my stress and my own anxiety. Like I would have wanted it to all go perfect because God forbid they be uncomfortable. And by the time I would have gotten to my friend dinner, all I would have wanted to do was complain about my day and be like, can you
Yeah.
believe I went through all of this? And then basically like trauma bond over my busy day. Okay.
100%. Yes. 100%. And that would have been if you even went, because I also know of occasions where you're
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm just overwhelmed and I'm over it and I feel bad, but like, I just can't go because I'm no fun.
That, and I would have deemed that as taking care of myself, right?
Yeah.
Like that would have been self-care at that moment because I had just been
Right.
so overwhelmed with everything my kids needed that God forbid I would have done something for myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So now we fast forward to the new version of me, the version of
Okay.
me who knows that me as a woman is just as important as me as a mom. Like I can be a woman who is vibrant and joyful and all of those things and a mom. And in fact, I now know that that actually makes me a better mom, right?
Of
So
course.
I wake up yesterday morning and that immediate flood like of overwhelm and anxiety, it hits me, right? Like I've got all these things today. I'm nervous about some things today. Like those aren't things that stop on your healing journey. Like those aren't things that have stopped for me, right? So instead
Life
it's just the way,
continues.
yeah, right? It's just the way you deal with it. And so when I woke up, I knew this was coming. I got out of bed. I kind of took a deep breath, made the breakfast, got him off to practice. And then I had about 30 minutes before the rest of my day, started, or an hour rather. So I got home and I was like, okay, what can you do for you this morning? Like, what can you do for Suzanne? Not as mom, but as Suzanne. So I was like, I
Hmm.
could really use like a calm walk this morning. Like, just that's a place where I just find like my calm, my presence, right? So I head out the door. It's a
Movement.
flat road movement. It's not a hard hike or anything. It's
Yeah.
just, I know it. I know where to go. So I go out and I spend the first 10 minutes literally just voicing every worry I have. I just put it into an
Love
audio
it.
note and so it was like out of my system. And once I just kind of got it out of my system, it was a 30-minute walk. So I spent the second set just like listening to calm music. Cause I know at that point, like I didn't need a podcast. I didn't need more to think about. I needed to
Right.
calm my nervous system down. Cause even as I'm talking about it, right? Like my voice goes up, my energy goes up. It's like, okay, we got
Hmm.
this and this and this. And I want it all to work out for my kids. And so by the time I got home from my walk, I was like I'd taken my deep breath. I felt good in me. And then
Hmm.
it wasn't like it was a calm experience to go through the registration and then have to rush over to the orientation and then have to
Oh,
rush to this
no.
doctor's appointment
No.
and then have to hear what this doctor said. And none of that was calm. But what I can say is
Mm-mm.
like I was able to show up calm for my kids. And to me, that's
Yeah.
being a good mom, right? When they're the ones
Yeah.
that are now their emotions are kind of up and down. They're trying to figure it out. They're annoyed. They have to come to the other one's stuff. And it's like, hey, we're good. We got this. Did it all go perfect? No. We got schedules that weren't right. We got, and it's like, hey, it's just something to take care of. We'll take care of it today, get through the doctor's appointment. And now, like we talked about previously, and I don't know if this ever happened to you, have you ever like not shown up for the thing because for like the thing that was supposed to be for you, like the girls' dinner, because you were overwhelmed that day?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I threw that out there because I was like, oh, don't forget when you just no show the thing because you just had a crazy day. And then you're even more bitter because then you didn't meet with your friends and you didn't
Yeah.
have fun. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this was the coolest part of the day for me. Like I
Okay.
got through like all the mom stuff, right? I had about, I don't know, 30 minutes before the dinner to again kind of collect myself, be by myself, and
Hmm.
then be like, okay, how do you want to show up at dinner, Suzanne? Do you want to show
Right.
up telling them all about all the things you had to do and basically commiserate? Or do you want to show up and talk about like women things, girl things, not mom things? Like, sure, there's always a little mom stuff sprinkled in,
Of
but I think
course.
too,
Yes.
we can join the conversation and change it by talking about the girl things. Now, some of that was perimenopause, right? Because those are things that
Yeah.
a boy was.
Wow. You guys really kept it positive.
And then some of it was like cool vacations we'd taken over the summer. And like, oh,
Okay.
hey, where did
Okay.
you go for hair? So, like, again, it was a mix. But again, it's like stuff that involves us that had nothing to do with our
Yes.
kids. Was there a little kid stuff
Right.
sprinkled in? But like, it was
Of
such an
course.
enjoyable dinner. It was fun. I came home like super tired from the day, but like relaxed. And
Yeah.
then I came home and read a little bit before bed. And I looked back at the day and was like, you know what? That was a good day. I
Yeah.
would have never done that before. Like we said, previously, I would have been overwhelmed when I'm bitter. And I would have left that dinner being like, oh, great. And now all I did was bitch and complain about, how tough my life is and blah, blah, blah. And instead, I had fun and we talked about fun things. And I walked out of it being like, oh, yeah, mom and woman. they can exist. They can coexist. Yay. So
Yes. Yes. And I also think that when you're talking about your day and like you're looking back, I think the thing I can see is that you weren't assigning meaning to anything. Like, this is going to be a hard day. And as soon as something goes wrong, you're like, oh, just another thing, right? Like your whole lens was like, this is going to be kind of one of those dysregulating days. And like, I'm
yeah.
here for it and it's not good or bad. And I already know things aren't going to, go perfectly. Like, you're just setting up yourself up for failure for that, right? But that's what I can hear you saying is like, you were just like, yeah, it's just going to be one of those days. And then when you got to dinner, you weren't like, let me just focus on all the bad things. Like the schedule wasn't right. I had to bring, one with the other and he was bitching about it. And I had, right? Like you didn't focus on all that. It was like, yeah, I had a crazy day. I had all this stuff going on. And it's like, yeah, that's a crazy day, right? Like, cause you do want validation and you do want to like share that, you're not being, because I don't want the listener to hear you being like, oh, I didn't talk about that. Like you're not supposed to talk about it. It's not that. It's just like you didn't live there.
And let me clarify, I did be like, it's been a crazy day. Like I gave like the
Right.
quick brief rundown because yes, there's that validation. And there's also the shared experience of us moms being
Sure.
like, we have nutty days and here we are. Right. So yes, I'm
Yes.
glad that you made that clarification.
Yes. And then just
Yeah.
the biggest thing is like not assigning meaning to it, right? Like it just flowed. Like kids up and down. Yep, that's expected. Schedule not right. Yep, that's expected. People upset they have to do things they don't want to do. Yep, that's expected, right? So you weren't just like all up in yourself. You were just like, yeah, this all is as it should be. So your whole
And
nervous system was just super relaxed. That's what I
yeah.
hear when you're talking through this story.
Yeah. And I think when you say assigning meaning, I think that's another way of saying you don't have any expectations, right? Like your expectation
Yes.
is in fact that things will likely go wrong that day. And so instead of
Right.
confirming your bias, which is going to be like,
Right.
see, the schedule was wrong. And because let's be real clear, that was me previously. Yeah,
Totally.
like that is where I lived. And then I would talk about that with the other moms. And that felt natural. That felt like that mom guilt, like badge of honor of like, can you believe like, all, or that anger or wherever it came
Yeah.
from, like that badge of honor that like you've had a hard day as a mom. And there's a place for
Yes.
that. Like we said, like you start
Yes.
out and you say to them like, oh my gosh, I've had such a crazy day, but I'm so glad I like made it through and that I get to be here with you guys and that I don't have to talk about that. And we get to talk about girl stuff.
What we want to talk about. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I love that for you.
I think the takeaway was how do you start your day? Like on those days that are just going to be either super busy or really emotionally charged, or both in this case for me, how do you show up for yourself? Like, is there something you can do, even if it's for 5 minutes? Like, I know I talked about a 30-minute walk, but even like, can you just get 5 minutes to yourself? Like, can you sit in your bedroom? Can you look at your view? Can you go on a little, like, just even walk outside? Like anything, grab a cup of coffee, like anything you can do to just reset your brain. Because in that moment, I reset my brain twice yesterday and my kind of like my mindset, right? My first one was first thing in the morning of the walk.
Right.
And then the second one was before the dinner, like, how do I want to show up? And so I think if you can just take those little times and little pockets and reset yourself, I think that's really important.
Yeah. And I would say you even had a third because right when you woke up, you acknowledged that you had that flush, like the flooding of like anxiety and like the knowing of what today was going to look like. And so
Yep.
I think that you also had a third one. So the point being is like, yes, you took a 30-minute walk, but you don't have to take a 30-minute walk to reset yourself, right?
Yeah.
You can just acknowledge it.
Yeah. And like we said, like, don't have expectations or having expectations, things will go wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think the question for the listener today would be like, what's one small thing you could do today to feel like you again, like much to what Suzanne was just talking about, that you don't lose the mom you want to be, right? Like there's certain ways you want to show up as a mom for your kids, and that's awesome and should be celebrated. But don't forget to do something for yourself today. And, what is one small thing? Like, what's the one reset you could do? Or, whether it's listening to a song or going for a little walk or taking a second to enjoy your coffee without any social media or, kids yapping in the background or whatever. I don't know. Those are just some ideas from me, but that's it for today.
We hope you discovered something in my story.
See you next time. Same place, same sisterhood. Bye.